you have TikTok and you like basketball, you probably know Showtown Hoops.
Children of all ages, act like you know.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Y'all know what time it is when you see me. Y'all know what it is. We are talking pro basketball, and we got some good action tonight. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we got some damn good action tonight, and I am excited. Because what we do, I don't really get excited about early regular season games. I don't. I'd be lying to you if I said I got excited about early regular season games. No, because I don't. Because this team that you see today is not the same team that I'm going to see in 2 months. I don't think so. They're either going to be better or they're going to be worse. They're not going to be the same. That's not going to be the case here at all. So with that being said, we got a team in the NBA today, right? We got a team in the NBA today who I thought that they would be good. We're on two opposite ends of the spectrum here, right? So what I mean when I say that is we got one team that's really good that I didn't think would be this good. I thought they'd be good, but I didn't think that they would be this good. And then we got another team that I didn't even think that they make the playoffs. And I know that, we're still in the preliminary stages of the season. The season just got started 2 weeks ago. This Tuesday that just passed. Literally, the season just got started 2 weeks ago. So with that being said, I can't really tell that much about these groups. But from what I have seen, man, I'm impressed with this Cavs team. Let me tell you, I am wildly impressed with this Cavs team. I thought that Evan Mobley, who you guys know I love this kid. I thought that he'd take the leap this season and be better. Right? I thought that he'd take the leap and be better, and he has. He 100% has. He's actually back to the trajectory that he was on when he first showed up, which, I don't think that there's many people who would argue when he first came into the league that, he was projected as he was projected like a top 3 pick. I had him as the rookie of the year. I didn't think that he'd be this good defensively after his second year, but he turned into an elite defensive player immediately. Like right from the start, he turned into a great defender immediately. And then last year, he was riddled by injury. He missed almost half the season. And the Cavs suffered because of that. Even though they still were only 2 games out the 2 spot, they suffered because of it. Because they definitely could have gotten a better seed had Evan Mobley been healthy. I thought Jared Allen was an all-star last year. He was a double-double guy. I think it was like he had a 2-month stretch where he was like 16 or he was 17 and 13 on 50+% shooting from the floor. He was fantastic. I thought he was gonna make the all-star team. I was wrong, unfortunately, but he missed the playoffs. Had he been healthy, I think that we would have gotten a more competitive series. I don't think they would have beaten Boston, but I think we would have gotten a more competitive series. Bring these guys back. They sign back Donovan Mitchell. They bring back Evan Mobley and sign him back to an extension. They sign Jared Allen to an extension. And the most important piece, I think, in this whole group was Darius Garland gaining more confidence. So when you have a primary ball handler like Darius Garland, who started off as hot as he did, in year 3, he's an all-star. When you have a primary ball handler, what's up, Ayo? When you have a primary ball handler that's that good, that gets a monkey wrench thrown into his role as a player in the league, more times than not, you're going to lose him. And in this particular situation, they didn't. They were able to hold on to him. And that was a big deal. That was a pretty big deal considering in year 3, he's an all-star. So much so that the Cavs love him and they ink him to a max deal. They end up inking him to a max deal. You're our lead guard of the future. But then they turn around and they trade for Donovan Mitchell. Well, wait a minute. Okay, you were giving me the ball. You were telling me that I was going to run the show. And now you bring him over here, who he's actually a better player. He's more advanced than I am. So what exactly am I here to do? Am I here now to play off of him? Or do I have the basketball? And these guys, I'm going to play off of them. But I'm going to do it at my pace. It was confusing, and it kind of threw it slowed him. It slowed down his progression this season. And then last year he broke his jaw, so he missed 2 months. So the Cavs were decimated with injury last season. This year, he's a lot more confident, much more confident than he was last year. He looks a lot more mature. He's steadier with the ball, less turnovers, more confident getting downhill, more confident as a scorer. That's largely due to Donovan Mitchell. And not just Donovan Mitchell as a player, but Donovan Mitchell as a motivator. And Donovan Mitchell gets in his ear. He's like Boudini Brown for Darius Garland. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Boudini Brown, but Boudini Brown was the guy in Muhammad Ali's ear saying, "It ain't nobody out here better than you. Not one of these dudes out here can beat you. None of them. You the baddest, you know what, on the planet." You hear that 100, 200 times. You start thinking that, yo, maybe I am that guy. And Darius Garland, being the young player that he is, he needed that. He 100% needed that. Don't get me wrong. Coddling a guy can be to his detriment at some point. However, right? However, what's up, Lorenzo? Shout out to Fort Worth, Texas in the house. Coddling a guy can be to his detriment. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. But there is a part of you, right? There is a part of you that needs that. You don't always need to hear, yo, this dude is better than you. You suck. And no, that's not conducive. Sometimes you need to hear, you better than him. You the best guard here. You need to hear that. You can't consistently hear, you suck. You're not good. This is not enough. This is not good enough. No, because eventually that's going to go on deaf ears. One of two things are going to happen. You're going to lose that person or you're going to wreck them. Because so you can't keep doing that. So with Darius Garland, with Donovan Mitchell pushing him in a good way, you know, telling him what's necessary, and it's obvious that it's worked. Then you get the Cavs rotation. I mean, I can't say enough about Ty Jerome. He fits perfect with this unit. Just the same Ty Jerome who I watched in Golden State, who I'm thinking, I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the league. I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the league. He looks on that Cleveland Cavalier team like he could be a solid rotation guard for a bunch of years. That's what he looks like to me. Like a rotation guard who can be good for a long time. And I love to see it. Dean Wade actually is healthy. And he's knocking down the long ball. Unlike last season where, one, he wasn't healthy. And two, he wasn't as efficient as he could have been. I still think that that's Max Strus's spot when he gets healthy. But I tell you what, man, Dean Wade is pushing him for that spot. Dean Wade is 100% pushing him for that spot. Karis LeVert is one of the best rotation players in the game. And anybody that argues that does not know how big a deal a rotation guy is and what he's been doing for them. And because of that, this Cavs team is the real deal. Undefeated. I did not think that they were this good. I had them as a top 3 seed going into the season. I said that I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the East Finals. That would not surprise me. And I still stand on that. I do. I still stand on that. I would not be surprised if the Cavs were in the East Finals this year. That would not surprise me. Now, there's some people that are a little apprehensive about that because they're figuring, well, who are they going to beat? Are they going to beat Boston? Or who are they going to replace in the East Finals? Well, last I checked, Indiana was in the East Finals last year. I think they better than them right now. I don't think they're better than them in 2 months. I think they're better than Indiana right now. So now who does that leave? I think Boston is the class of the I was about to say the NFC. I'm sorry. I think Boston is the class of the Eastern Conference. And the Eastern Conference has started really slow. really slow. But there's a team in the East, the world champions, and there's another team in the East that's damn good, and that's the Cavs. And who else, when you look at the landscape of the East, who else is in the East Finals contention? I mean, Milwaukee, I think they're going to get it together, but I think Cleveland is better than them. I do. I think Cleveland is better than them. Donovan Mitchell is the best two guard in the game. I think he's one of the better playmakers in the game. I think what they do as a collective, I think that roster is just better than Milwaukee's. Don't get me wrong. If they ended up playing Milwaukee in the series, it kind of goes against my logic where my best player is better than your best player. But in this particular situation, that logic won't work because it would have to take Giannis and Dame beating their whole squad. And I don't think that roster is put together to do that because I feel like Cleveland's roster construction, the way that it's put together, I think it's just put together much better. And I don't think that my best player is better than your best player. In this particular situation, more times than not, that's the case. But in this particular situation, I don't think that's the case because I saw the Detroit Pistons beat the Lakers. And Chauncey Billups is not better than Kobe Bryant. No, he isn't. But my best player was better than your best player as a collection. In 2011, Dirk Nowitzki was not better than LeBron James, but my best player was better than your best player as a collection. And they ended up winning the series. They ended up winning the series at that time. And you could say I could use the same logic with I could use the same logic with Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry in 2019. Don't get me wrong. Klay Thompson went out of the lineup. KD was out of the lineup, but that was a classic case of my best player is better than your best player. In 2022 in the finals, my best player is better than your best players. More times than not, that's the case. But in this particular situation with Milwaukee and Cleveland, if we're talking about playoffs, and we still got a long season, but if we're talking about playoffs, I don't think Donovan Mitchell has to outplay Giannis. I don't think he has to outplay Giannis. But I think as a collection, I think Cleveland can outplay Milwaukee. I think that's the case. And I'm more comfortable with that than I am with Donovan Mitchell having to outplay Giannis. I don't really like that idea. But the Knicks have started slow, losing Julius Randle. They beat up Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. I mean, they beat up the Cavs 2 years ago in the playoffs. Straight beat them up. I mean, Evan Mobley actually held his own against Julius Randle. He wasn't terrible against him, but he was young, and the lights were really bright. What up, Krev? The lights were really bright. He got in for the most part, they got roughed up against that New York Knicks team. Donovan Mitchell got outplayed by Jalen Brunson. I don't think that's the case this year. I don't. This is not your little brother that you saw that you shared a room with. This is not him. It's a different dude. I equate the Knicks playing the Cavs like KD standing in front of LeBron James in 2017 in the finals. The dude you see standing in front of you, that's not the same dude you saw in 2012. It's a different dude. Nope. We're not the same. These are two different dudes. What up, Leaf? These are two different dudes. And I think this is a different team that I'm seeing now with this Cavs team. That's why I'm confident. And I'm confident in them. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them in the East Finals. That would not surprise me at all. At all. Another team that's on the other end of the spectrum, who I'm totally blown away by. And again, I don't think it's fool's gold, but I want to have this conversation about them again in January. And that's the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors, and if you heard me talk about them at all this season, you know how I felt about them. I don't have them making the playoffs. I felt like Steph Curry would be demanding out of there by at some point. There would be a trade request. Not necessarily by him, but there would be some teams picking up the telephone, considering how bad the Warriors were gonna be. There would be some teams picking up the telephone and basically nudging the Golden State Warriors. Hey, how you feeling about Steph Curry these days? That's what I thought the case was going to be. Now, I know it's early, and what are they, 7-1? They rolling right now. They are rolling right now. And they're rolling right now largely due to one thing and one thing only. It's what was their mantra years ago. And I've said this to you guys in the past. One of the main reasons why D'Angelo Russell is having such a difficult time with the Lakers is because he only does one thing. And when he's not doing that one thing, he's pretty useless. He's pretty useless on the floor when he's not doing that one thing. When you're good at one thing, and this is the only thing that you're good at, right? When you're good at one thing and this is the only thing that you're good at, when that one thing gets slowed down, what else are you good for? Well, we've seen teams in the past that they rely heavily on the long ball. We've seen that. We've seen teams heavily in the past rely on transition. When you slow that down, what else are you good for? Well, the Warriors have proven that the one thing that travels with them is their staple. I know when you guys think about the Warriors, you think about Steph Curry, you think about the long ball, you think about offense. Just so you know, they got the third best defense in the league. And when I think about the years when they were rolling, right? When I think about the years when they were rolling, 2015 when they won the NBA championship, they had the best defense in the league that year. 2016 when they went in the NBA championship and they won 73 games, they had the second best defense in the game that year. 2017 when they won the NBA championship, they had the third best defense in the league that year. I think in 2018, I think they were right outside the top 10 in defense the year that they won the NBA championship. In 2022, when they won the NBA championship, they had the best defense in the league. In 2019, they were right outside the top 10 in defense. They've proven that when we're a good team defensively, when we are a damn good team defensively, we are going to be a lot to deal with. Remember, in 23 when they lost to the Lakers, I think they were 18th in the league. They were closer to the bottom 10 than they were the top 10. And the addition of Andrew Wiggins, getting him back in the fold, and in addition to getting Andrew Wiggins back in the fold, Kuminga is looking really good on defense. Draymond, who is a little older and not as athletic as he was 6 years ago, still is smart enough to shoot gaps, still smart enough to cut off angles, still smart enough to quarterback a defense, still smart enough to know when to close out, still smart enough to know when to crowd a guy. He's still good enough to do those things, still, without having to do it from an athletic standpoint like he did 5-6 years ago. No. Excuse me. He doesn't have to do that anymore. Andrew Wiggins, I'm watching him against the Celtics a couple of nights ago, and a lot of people look at the box score and go, yo, Jason Tatum went for 32. They had Jason Tatum, they had Pritchard, they had Drew Holiday. They had them dudes boxed up for a while. You'll see the 26 that you got, right? You'll see the 26 that you got from Derek White, not realizing that he got hot early. They slowed him down. And they did a great job in mismatch hunting. See, the Celtics are a very switch-heavy team. And the reason why they're a very switch-heavy team is because they got a lot of interchangeable guys. Drew Holiday can guard from 1 to 3, sometimes even to 4. Derek White can guard from 1 to 3, sometimes even to 4. Jason Tatum might be their most versatile defender because he can guard some 5s. Not all, but he can guard some 5s. The weak link is when they go after Al Horford, which is what the Golden State Warriors did. Not just Al Horford, but going after Kata. Because when you go after Kata, you get Kata switched on, which is, I think, a great job with Steve Kerr in terms of coaching. When you get Kata switched on to Steph Curry, the fact that the Celtics would allow that was beyond me. Somebody else got to get the ball out of Steph Curry's hands. You have to. I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying that it's possible. I do not want Kata switched on to Steph Curry. You have to get the ball out of Steph Curry's hands. You have to. When he switched on to Kata. Hell no. I'm not going to leave him on an island with Kata, but that's a great job by Steve Kerr recognizing how good his mismatch hunting can be. I think that's a great job with Steve Kerr recognizing how good the matchups can be when he mismatch hunts. And it worked. But their defense was incredible. Gary Payton being the irritant that he is, picking up loose balls, getting to the basket, easy buckets, tip outs, diving on the floor for loose balls, getting extra possessions. When you got guys like that, it's hard to replace that. I got Andrew Wiggins picking up Jason Tatum, 3/4 court, making it difficult on them, where the Celtics aren't getting into their offense, where they're not getting into their offense until 13 seconds. Now they got to rush. Now they got to hop. Well, when they were playing against other teams, I mean, Jason Tatum wasn't really bothered by that. That wasn't the case. So I'm impressed with. I'm impressed more with the Golden State Warriors defense than I've been in the past, considering what they have. But when I think about what they're doing right now, I mean, the only missing piece, the only guy that's missing is Clay, and you replaced him in terms of a shooter. You replaced him with Buddy Hield. You didn't replace him. You replaced him with Buddy Hield coming off the bench. You didn't replace him with Buddy Hield in the starting lineup. Buddy Hield comes off the bench. He basically plays starter minutes. So he's more in a Manu Ginobili type of role where he comes off the bench. No, I'm not going to say Manu Ginobili. He's more in a Lou Williams type of role. Like when he comes in the game, you know what it is when you see me. You know exactly what it is when you see me. It's not news. And his ability to shoot, I think in the last 5 years, there's nobody who's made more threes than him. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a guy that not a lot of people paid attention to, who's been, if we're thinking about when Buddy Hield came into the league, this is 4th team in what, 7 years? 8 years? This is 4th team. He went from Sacramento to Indy to Philly. Now he's in Golden State. And watching him in Golden State, it just works. It fits. It 100% fits. And I think I think this could continue, barring injury. I saw Steph Curry get banged up a couple of weeks ago, and he was out of the lineup for 2 weeks. How long is Steph Curry going to hold up? I don't know. That part I'm a little bit wary about. They ended up changing his shoes. I saw that they put different shoes on him, which I can get with that. Sure, I can definitely get with that. With that being said, can he hold up? Because if he could hold up and he could get it together, and he can keep it together, I might have to walk back what I said about the Warriors not making the playoffs. I do want to have this conversation with you guys in another 2 months. I 100% want to have this conversation with you guys again in another 2 months, because as of right now, I look way wrong. Way wrong. So how do the Cavs beat the Warriors tonight? Well, the way the Cavs beat the Warriors tonight, I think they take advantage of the Golden State Warriors front line. I think more than anything. I think that they take advantage of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen around the rim. And Golden State has the ability to collapse. They did it against the Celtics. They had the ability to collapse their defense. When you get in the paint, they got guys who swarm the paint. Draymond, Wiggins, Kuminga, Gary Payton. These guys swarm the paint. Swarm it. However, when you're knocking down open shots, guys like Dean Wade, guys like Karis LeVert, when you're knocking down open shots, which Donovan Mitchell, I'm pretty confident is going to create open shots for these guys. When you're knocking down open shots like that, I'm pretty confident that I'm really confident that they're going to cause a lot of trouble for the Golden State Warriors. Now, if they can take advantage of the Golden State Warriors front line and they can knock down open shots, I like their chances. I 100% like their chances. Now, here's the difference. How can the Golden State Warriors win this game? With their defense. Same way they beat the Celtics. The exact same way that they beat the Celtics. They beat the Celtics by slowing them down. The Celtics have 50 points at the half. 50. 5-0. I think they were shooting less than 30% on the long ball. They slowed down their transition game. And Golden State, right? Golden State, if Golden State can slow down Cleveland's transition game, they're one of the fastest, they're one of the better transition teams in the game, right? Cleveland's one of the better transition teams in the game. Not only are they one of the better transition teams in the game, if I'm not mistaken, they got the best. They have, if not the best transition team, if they're not the best transition team in the game, they're the second best transition team in the game, and they're the best pick and roll team in the game. Which means that which means that the Warriors are going to have their hands full guarding the pick and roll. No, they're going to have their hands full guarding the pick and roll. 100% they are. So I'll be interested to see I'll be really interested to see how they handle that. Very, very, very much so. I'm going to watch this game tonight. You're not going to be able to keep Curry off the long ball line. That's just who Steph Curry is. You're not going to be able to do that. Nope. Mm-mm. You're not going to be able to keep Steph Curry off the long ball line. Can you slow down Andrew Wiggins? Can you make Jonathan Kuminga a negative? Can you do that? Because if you can do that, you slow them down. 100% you slow them down if you can do that. And they're going to be trouble. 100% they're going to be trouble. I think the Cavs win tonight. I do. I think the Cavs win tonight. I think that they take more advantage of their front line. And I think Donovan Mitchell picks apart their defense. As good as their defense is, I think Donovan Mitchell, I think he can pick apart their defense. Who do you think is better, Paul? Who do you think is better, Jet? Paul Westphal or Gail Goodrich? Because just so you know, Gail Goodrich's number is retired with the Lakers. I'm just saying. That's as far as I'm gonna go. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that. I don't know where that came from. Paul Westphal to Gail Goodrich. I didn't even know those two were comparable. But anyway, the Knicks play the Bucks tonight, and I'll be interested to see how that goes. Because, like I told you, I'm not sold on the Bucks being this bad all year. Oh, I think Dame's averaging 29 and 7 and 29 and 7 and 4. And you got Giannis playing at an MVP level. Oh, this team is not that bad. There's no way that I'm buying the logic that this team is that bad. I would like to see Giannis. I'd like to see Giannis screen a little bit more and free up Dame more, which would free him up more. Right? And that would open up their offense a little bit more. Bobby Portis has to be better. I mean, I think he almost had a 20 and 20 game a couple of nights ago, but watching him last night against Utah, he could have been better. And I think he will be. I 100% think he will be better. I'm not buying that this Milwaukee Bucks team is the worst team in the league. Before last night, they were tied with Utah for the worst record in the league. I'm like, Milwaukee is not the worst team in the league. No way. No way are you telling me that the Milwaukee Bucks are the worst team in the league right now. No, they're not. Hell no. I'm not buying that. Absolutely not am I buying that Milwaukee is the worst team in the league. Hell no. I am not trying to hear that. Not with Giannis Antetokounmpo on their team. Not with Damian Lillard on their team. Ain't no way we the worst team in the league. No. Hell no. We will figure this out. On some level, we'll figure this out. Don't get me wrong. The roster construction, it doesn't look good right now. I'm not sure what they're doing with Jackson, right? I'm not sure what they're doing with Taurean Prince. Gary Trent has to be better. I think he's more suited as a rotation player. They got to be better on the wings defensively, and they're not. They don't have the personnel for it, which would explain why Damian Lillard struggles so much defensively, because we don't have nobody to protect him. We don't have anybody to protect him, and because we don't have anybody to protect him, he gets picked on a lot. They go after him pretty often. So, what does that mean for what does that mean for the Milwaukee Bucks? Well, we have to shore that up, because we're not just going to be able to outscore teams. No, because we're not seeing Utah every night. No, we're not seeing Utah every night. That's not happening. We are not going to see the Jazz every night. Nope. We're gonna see Indiana and Cleveland and Chicago, who blew us out in our building. We're gonna see those guys more often than we see Portland and Utah. So we got to get it together. We have to get it together. Our transition defense is garbage, right? Not only is our transition defense, our transition game is garbage. We do not have a very good transition game, which is kind of surprising considering you got the best transition player in the game. So you should be better in transition, and you're not. You are not. We're in the bottom 10 in the league in offense. Bottom 10 in the league in defense. We might have the worst team in the league guarding at the long ball line. We might have that. And we're the third worst defensive rebounding team, which means that teams get what they want against us on the glass. We got to be better at that. There's some things that there's some things that we have to shore up. There's some things that we have to shore up right now. And I know it's only 2 weeks into the season, but this can't be the trend. Nah, this cannot be the trend, because if it is, we're not making the playoffs. And now we've wasted not one, because I think this is a 3-year window. I think we're in year 2. And if that's the case, if we go the other way again, now we've wasted 2 years. And now we got 1 more year left. That's it. We got 1 more year left of this. Because Damian Lillard still playing at a high level at 34 years old. I think I got 1 more year of Dame playing at this level at 35. 1 more year before he starts sliding. Like 36, 37. Nope. I think I got 1 more season of not this season. I think I got 1 more year after this year of Damian Lillard playing at this level before he starts to slow down. 1 more year. So I want to hear from you guys, though. I do. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear how good the Warriors are. So I'm interested to hear you. I'm interested to hear your logic. What's going on, yo?
Yo, what up, Chill?
What up?
What up? Yeah, I'm the Warriors. I think they're really good. I was surprised at their defense against the Celtics. They were that was the first team that I seen that made them really uncomfortable. And it wasn't even just Tatum. I felt like they blitzed everybody that had the ball. Usually with the Celtics, they can whenever they get that pick and roll action or the pick and fade action, they can run that all night. But the Warriors, they were blitzing that every time the person would come off the pick, it was a body already right there. The ball handlers, they couldn't really get like good shots. It made the Celtics offense. It just got them out of rhythm. So I wasn't expecting to see that because when the game first started, and let me say, man, you're a genius about that. Namias Queta, you was right about him taking all the Cornet's minutes. So when the game started, I was like, man, the Warriors are small. So I'm thinking, man, Queta's about to just destroy them, but they were just so fast. And I think that the
Mhm.
Warriors, man, that team is like really, it's like they're not tall, but they're like long and athletic. So
That's it right
I
there. That second part right there. That's it right there. What you just said.
yeah,
That's it. And they take advantage of that too.
yeah, and
100%
then
they do.
I like what they in the fourth quarter. I thought we was gonna pull away, and I didn't even. I think that after watching that game, I think Kevon Looney might be the best offensive rebounder in the league because he came away with so many clutch offensive rebounds in that
Right.
fourth quarter. I was like, man, the Warriors are good, and I think they're
Who is a
more.
who is a better if you had to if you had to run down in the league the better offensive rebounders? Okay, Drummond, uh, Hartenstein, who broke his hand, Evan Mobley. Who is a better offensive rebounder right now than Looney?
Then honestly, I really don't know. I really don't know. I'll tell you, like a team that I don't really like. Well, a team that I at last year that I thought was going to give the Celtics a little problem was the Knicks. I felt like as a team
Yeah.
they were good at getting offensive rebounds. I felt like Josh Hart was good at crashing the glass. But I mean, no player really, I think is really like that better than anyone else until last night when I saw Kevon Looney.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anybody else that like stood out to me when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to offensive rebounds.
So yeah, man. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from this Warriors team. Again, it's still early. So classic. I want to have this conversation with you about the Golden State Warriors when we get into the dog days of the season. Late December, early January, middle of January, when now we're at a point where this is monotonous and we got to go to Milwaukee on a Tuesday night. You know, we got to go to Indiana. We got to go to Brooklyn on a Thursday. And now we see when teams are starting to separate themselves from other teams. So it looks good right now. The what I equated it to, school just started. Classic, you haven't really gotten any homework yet. Have you been in a fight yet since you've been in school? Not really, right? You ain't really been in a fight yet. Your clothes are still clean. So I'll talk to you again in a couple of months when you've been invited outside a couple of times. We'll see. So
All right,
yeah.
man. Good talking
All
with
right,
you.
brother. Good to talk to you. What up?
What's going on, Chill?
What up?
I like the analogy that you made in terms of being in school, and it's funny that you mentioned that with the Warriors, but
I'm
unfortunately, I
saying,
got
Leaf. I mean, you just got to school. Your J's is still fresh. Your coat's still clean. Your clothes is still fresh. You ain't been in a fight. Ain't nobody asked you outside yet. The homework. You ain't really seen a lot of homework yet. So I'm not sure. Let's hold on.
if that's the case, then the Warriors is basically the seniors in the building. Then they know what goddamn time it is because. Just to put this on your mind, the last time the Warriors started like this shit ended up in a championship.
Yep.
So I mean, not to piggyback on it because I don't like Steph at all, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to give credit where credit is due. I actually like the way that they're playing. I
Mm-hmm.
like the way they played right from the season opener. I seen the energy and the way that they were moving and the way that they were running. Defensively, you mentioned that. When you playing defense, when you blitzing and blitzing defenders the way that they was doing, you could give Boston a run for their money.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did in some.
Yep.
Now, the Cleveland team tonight is probably going to be a little bit different, but maybe not. But because I don't think the Warriors has ever been phased by any front lines in their tenure in the Curry era. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
realistically,
the Lakers gave him some trouble with Anthony Davis. That's been a big
I
problem
mean,
for
well,
them.
yeah, that was probably the only time. I mean, with
Yep.
AD and LeBron and the last time they was in the playoffs, but realistically, we got to remember that this Cleveland team, and by the way, I'm not surprised at nothing that they're doing because I can't stand the Knicks. So I had Cleveland number 2 to start the year. But did I think it was going to be this good? Somewhat. It's because they had Kenny Atkinson, and Kenny Atkinson was over here at one point
and got ran out. He's a damn good coach.
Yeah. He got ran out by the free agents, and I thought he was supposed to say what he did with D'Lo, Karis LeVert, and Jared Allen that year when they were there. It was nothing short of amazing. He got that team to 42 wins, and starting almost 9-0 with this team is nothing short of incredible. But I look at everything that they're doing with their reserves. Darius Garland's playing better. I like what Kenny Atkinson does with the guard play. JB Bickerstaff wasn't a bad coach. I'm not blasting JB Bickerstaff at all. JB Bickerstaff was not a bad coach, and I'm watching the Pistons play, and he's proven that he's not a bad coach. So realistically, to give my anecdote on it, because I'm gonna finish with one. The Warriors is one of those teams. The only reason why I can see somebody saying that they're pretenders is because they're in the West. That's the only reason. And we had conversations about how you having the rest. And pretty soon you're gonna have to cough up what you've been talking about, the Phoenix Suns too, because they also 7-1, and they also sitting on top of the West with OKC respectfully. So you're gonna have to.
That's why I gave you the school analogy. I want to have this conversation again in January. I want to have this conversation.
but the thing about the school analogy, it don't really apply to Kevin Durant and Steph Curry.
It do. It does.
Does it really?
And the reason why is because one, Curry and KD, as good as Curry and KD are, they still long in the tooth. Like I can't act like Steph Curry is a spring chicken. He's still long in the. You just brought it up.
No. But the difference is the way that they're playing around their new cast of characters. The difference is they don't need to be the old version of themselves all game long.
Nope.
They only need to be that in the fourth quarter when they have a favorable matchup, because you seen. The big black what's the kid that played for the Celtics, Yuta. Switch out on Steph at the end of the game, man. That shit was like watching a horror movie. You already knew the black dude was gonna die. Like and somehow the light skin dude.
It was Drago beating up on Apollo Creed, and you just let it
that's
happen.
what it was.
Don't do that to him.
Yeah, but to end on this before I go, because I got to start the Nets game in a few minutes. My subs is going up like crazy. But to end it off, I will say that the Cavs are a little bit impressive, but I like the Warriors. I seen the way that they was moving. And anytime they got a top 5 defense, anytime they got an active defense, they could do a lot of damage in the league. But only reason why I'm calling them pretenders now is because Steph's health is starting to come back to haunt him.
Yep.
Those ankles are starting to come back to haunt him. Kevin Durant probably looks the best out of all the 36-year-olds and the 30 anybody that's 35 or over.
Get these old dudes out of here, man.
Listen. Hey, listen. I said that. And I stand by it. But the thing is, Kevin Durant still looked this damn good at what 28-7?
Yeah.
Steph is playing great team basketball. That's the one thing I can say about him now. He's playing great team. LeBron, you already know how I feel about him, but Steph is playing great team basketball, and the Warriors got back to these things: defense, depth, and shooting. Remember those 3 things: defense, depth, and shooting. That's what they got their roster back to, and Buddy Hield is running Steph sets and shit. So man, I'm gonna leave you alone, man. I ain't gonna walk you across the street this time, man. I'm gonna get on my shit. I appreciate
brother.
you though. Yep.
Good to talk to you.
Yep.
That's a foul. That's definitely a foul. 100% that's a foul. Man, nice job, Evan, getting downhill. JB sends a super chat. He says, are you moved by LaMelo Chill, or are you still out? Well, I never said I was out on LaMelo. I said that if he got hurt again this year, that's what I said. I said if he got hurt again this year and I got another season-ending injury, I was out. I never said I was out on him. I said that he was injury-prone, and I said after this season, if he got hurt again, because this would be the 3rd straight year that I have a season-ending injury. The 3rd straight year. So I never said I was out on him. No. I never said that. So I like what I'm seeing so far from the Cavs. The game plan is run the floor. They can't hit their front line. Cleveland's front line is bigger. Excuse me. Cleveland's front line is bigger than the Cavs. So the Cavs adjustment, not the Cavs, the Warriors adjustment is going to be get back and get in a zone. Because if they're going to play man, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen run to the rim. Whichever one of you doesn't get the rebound, the other one runs to the rim. That's really what it is in a nutshell. Whichever one of you guys isn't on the glass, the other one runs to the rim. That's why Evan Mobley is doing what he's doing so far. Rim run. And I mean that's basketball 101 when you're talking about big fellas, right? I think that's basketball 101 when you're talking about big guys. Rim run. Get to the rim. So I'll be interested to see, right? I will be interested to see if they could keep this up with this team. I think that, and I'm not on the fence about it, I think the Cavs got the ingredients. I like what I'm seeing right now. I like the fact that Evan Mobley is actually going at Draymond. He turned the ball over on two trips previous to what just happened. But then he got downhill. He got fouled, clearly got fouled. I think he got the whistle. Yep. I think he ended up getting the whistle on that. But we got a good game going on so far. So I can hang out for a little bit. Yeah. I can hang out for a little bit and live stream this. So we're definitely gonna do that. No doubt about that. Because I mean this Cavs team is this Cavs team is fun to watch. And I like what I'm seeing from them so far. Yes, I do. I like what I'm seeing from the Cavs. This is good stuff. Yeah, I had a real difficult time watching that Celtic game. Not the blitzing that the Golden State Warriors were doing. Nah, that wasn't my issue. My issue was with Kata switching on to Steph Curry. I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, yo, what's going on right now? What are we doing? Oh, what are we doing? And that's 100% coaching. And I don't think Kenny Atkinson is going to allow that. No, he's not. So we got the action back going on. This is I think this is good stuff. Kenny Atkinson, I always thought that he was a good coach. Evan Mobley ended up getting fouled and he ended up going to the line. So I think he's been really aggressive. Mm-hmm. Nice job, yo. Nice job, big fella. Nice job. Is there any team that I'm concerned with in the Western Conference? There isn't any team that I'm concerned with in the Western Conference so far. Good defense. Good defense. Good defense. Rebound. Got a rebound. Nope. That's a good shot right there. There's your rebound right there. Nice job. Is there any team that I'm concerned with in the Western Conference? Minnesota, because I think Minnesota is going to the NBA Finals. But that's the only team that I'm concerned with of all the teams in the West, because there's an adjustment period with Julius Randle. There's an adjustment period with Julius Randle, and he kind of got past. Nice job, yo. Nice job. Big man around the rim. Nice job. That's a big time shot right there. Anyway, Julius Randle. There's an adjustment period, and they was on his case last night, which I think was awesome. Wow, the Warriors, Cleveland jumped on these dudes early. This is pretty impressive. Yes, it is. Cleveland straight jumped on these dudes early. Jumped on these guys early. I like what I'm seeing from the Cavs. I like their energy to start the game. I like their energy to start the game. I like these guys around the basket. So that's a big time shot from Darius Garland. Big time shot from Darius Garland. They jumped on these guys. 100% they did. Nope. Good shot. That's a good shot. Wow. So again, that's probably the one team that I'm concerned with, and that's Minnesota, because I got them in the finals. I do. I got Minnesota in the finals. So yeah, good defense. Good defense. That's damn good defense. Nice. I know how in the NBA, I know exactly how quickly a league can evaporate. I do. I know how quickly a league can evaporate, and I know how quickly a team could get back in the game. So, 15 points in the NBA is not a lot. 15 points in the NBA is not a lot. Prime example is right now. I mean, the Warriors, the Warriors are already getting back in the game. Already. It's a block. Foul number 2 on Draymond. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Foul number 2 on Draymond. Mm-hmm. He might have ran him over. Yeah, he might have ran him over. I don't know. Definitely might have ran him over. So, anyway, I want to stay focused on what we got going on here, and that is Ruthless is telling me that the Nets are up 13-2 on Boston. So that's what, 11 points. We've seen teams go on 11-0 runs in less than a minute. We've seen teams go on 11-0 runs in a minute and a half. So what? And if Boston jumped on them early, so what? Mm-hmm. Good rebound. Nice. Mm-hmm. That's a bad pass. Bad pass. Mm-mm. Nice shot. Good shot. This is the first time that I've been on a live stream with you guys, and I've actually been watching action live. This is the first time I've done this with you. More times than not, I got a script of things that to talk about, but tonight is the first time I've actually been with you guys live and watching the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good shot, Draymond. Nope. Nice job. Nice job. Mm-hmm. A lot of action off the ball with the Cavs. A lot of action off the ball. Mm-hmm. Foul. Yep. That's a good call. Yep. That is a good call. Yep. Good call. Karis LeVert's one of the better rotation players in the game. I don't think we give him nearly as much credit as we should. And I think we need to give him more credit than what we do. Is that a foul? I don't know if that's a foul, but all right. Okay. Nope. Mm-mm. If the Cavs can hold Cleveland, if the Cavs can hold the Warriors under 20 in the first quarter, I think that they got a real shot at handling this game, at beating the Warriors handily, at handling the Warriors. If they can keep this lead or keep these dudes under 20. Mm-hmm. Oh. And no, I should not be concerned with the Clippers. You already know how I feel about the Clippers. Mm-mm. I don't think I should be concerned with the Clippers at all. Mm-mm. Pass the ball. Nice pass. That's great action. Great action. Mm-mm. Yep, good shot. Mm-hmm. Good shot. No, the Warriors are not taking calls on Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's going to be the sixth man. If it ended today, he's the sixth man of the year. Who's a better rotation player in the game than Buddy Hield right now? Who's better than him right now? Who is a better rotation player than Buddy Hield right now? I don't see anybody that's better than him. I'm not saying that's playing just as good as him. Who's better than Buddy Hield? I don't know. I don't know if there's a better player. I don't know if there's a guy playing better than him. I ain't saying that there's not guys playing as good, but I don't know if there's a guy playing better than him. So I'm not sure if, like I said, if the season ended today, Buddy Hield might be the sixth man of the year. And I think that Peyton Pritchard is the best backup lead guard in the game. I know that Scottie Pippen Jr., I know that TJ McConnell might have something to say about that, but man. Turnover. Let's go. We running. Give it up. Oh, dunk the basketball. Nice. Nice job, big man. Nice job, big fella. Nice job. Coach wants to talk about it. He didn't like what's going on. So I can't say that I hate it, but I dig what I understand what they're doing. A lot of action. That's the most important thing. A lot of action off the ball. That's why I see the Cavs doing what they're doing. I might have to, if I'm being honest, I might have to get up to Cleveland and come playoff time. I might have to get up there. If the Cavs end up, I'm declaring it tonight. Today is November the 7th. What is today? Today is November the 7th. Nope, November the 8th, 2024. Today is November the 8th, 2024. If the Cavs and the Celtics end up in the East Finals, I am in Cleveland. I'm heading up to Cleveland, and I'm going to catch a Cavs game in Cleveland. I'm doing that. 100%. I'm doing it. If they end up in the East Finals, no doubt, I'm going up to Cleveland. Would I go to Boston? I mean, I've been to Boston a couple of different times, but yeah, I've been to Boston a couple of different times. So that's not to say that I wouldn't go back to Boston, but if the Cavs end up in the East Finals, I'm declaring it today. If they end up in the East Finals against the Boston Celtics, I am in Cleveland. I will figure it out. I will work it out with my schedule, and I will get up to Cleveland, and I will catch a game. Yes, I will. 100% I will. No doubt about it. I will get up to Cleveland, and I will catch a game because, you know, when the Cavs are good, Cleveland is another basketball city too, by the way. There are a few, right? There are a few basketball cities. Cleveland is a basketball city. Like I talked about, New York is a basketball city. Boston's a basketball city. Portland is a basketball city. Cleveland is 100% a basketball city. They are not front runners in Cleveland. They love them dudes up there. Yes, they do. They love them dudes up there in Cleveland. So if they're in the East Finals, yep, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it my business to get up there to catch a game. Yes, I will. I haven't been to Cleveland since when was the last time I've been to Cleveland? When they had Shaq. That was 2009. That was the last 2000. I'm sorry, in the playoffs in 2010. That was the last time I was up there when they played Boston. I haven't been up there since. So we're looking at close to 15 years since I've been in Cleveland. Right? It's been close to 15 years since I've been in Cleveland. So yeah, if they end up in the East Finals, I'm there. No doubt. No doubt. I like that. Nice job, Mobley. So all right, guys. It's about that time for me. I got to bounce. It was good to see you guys tonight. I will see you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon, but until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely. Good to see you guys. No doubt.
It's going down. It's going down. It's going down.